Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, A Pocket and a Bow. Today I'm going to be talking about how did I start sewing? What was my interest? What piqued my interest? So when I went to school, I did a little bit of sewing back in school. I sewed in primary school. It was mainly embroidery in primary school. And then when I got to high school, I made one apron. I remember that we did a sewing in my early classes, grade 7 or 8, and I did an apron. And that was my sewing years. In my teenage years, that was all I did. And then when I started having children, one of my daughters, she was allergic to bug bites. So I made her a pants. She was probably about 1 year old. And I did all of this by hand. I did not have a sewing machine, so I made it by hand. And I also made her little shorts. And then after a while, I thought I needed a sewing machine, so I bought a sewing machine and I made them little dresses. I will try and find a picture and link it in the video. But then that was it. I've always had a sewing machine, but didn't do much. And one of my daughters, she was getting married, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna try and make myself a dress, and the dress that I'm gonna wear to the wedding. And what I did, I went and I searched for a jacket that I had that fits me well, and I ripped the jacket apart. So I just got my seam ripper and I pulled it out, and I used that as a pattern, and I made my dress for the wedding. I will see if I can find a picture of that and link it too. And I think that was my masterpiece, because that to me was the most challenging thing I've done in sewing. The dress had, so it was a dress, it was a sleeveless dress, and then I had a jacket over it. Again, the skirt was a swing skirt. That's on the dress, but the jacket, that's where the challenge was, because I lined the jacket, and in addition to lining the jacket, I had lace over the jacket. So basically the jacket is like 3 in 1, because I had the lace, then the material, and underneath that I had the lining. And so that was the beginning of my journey. Then I made I got some patterns that I tried. Got frustrated when I realized that the patterns weren't all according to my measurement, and so I decided I needed to learn how to make my own patterns. I made my own patterns. I have different patterns for different styles. I have a pattern for my regular blouse. Then I can use that if I need buttons in the front or a zipper in the back. And I also have another pattern for a wrap top or a wrap dress. And so I have my own patterns. I have my skirt patterns, that's straight skirts patterns, but my swing skirts, I usually cut those freehand. I hope this information will help you. And if you have been thinking of sewing, stop thinking. Just get to it. You will definitely love it. One of my biggest challenge though is, again, because of the material I use, material is fairly cheap. So I'm not afraid of making mistakes on my materials. I am very, very cautious with accepting to make clothes for people because I get very, very nervous. Recently, I decided I was gonna do something for a friend of mine, and I prayed so much. I was so nervous. I cut the pattern. I was going over the pattern, going it over and over before I put on the material, and then I cut it, and I felt that the hips weren't properly aligned, and I was so nervous. But I finished them, and she has not gotten them as yet. I'm going to put them in the mail to her, so I will hear how they turn out. But overall, if you want to sew, just get to it. It is something you will definitely love. When you've worked hard at it and you see the end product, you will love it. As usual, we ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments for us. Bye.